Morehouse, we heard that you like to call yourself the house? Well, here you go. Wrong house. This is where we are for the home team. We are now we go. Let's go.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right. So, Coach, tell me about the first half and the onside kick. Tell me, have you guys been working on that all week, or that just came out the blue?
Well, surprise. We've been watching film. That front line kind of got, away from the ball once the ball was kicked. So we knew we could give an element of surprise. And then the first pop kick, we saw those guys not getting over there, foul catching it. So some film watching we did this week. But, we were fortunate to get that. So we just got to score points when we get that ball.
Y'all up 28-0. Tell me how you're going to keep the guys focused so they can get the dub.
Well, it's 0-0. New half, 0-0. So we got to remain focused and do our job, do our assignment, and let's close this game out.
Thanks, Coach.
Back live here at Sloan Alumni Stadium, getting set for second half action. 28-0 Golden Bears with the lead as we get set for the second half. And AA, the stats bear it out. Golden Bears just dominant on both sides of the football.
Well, we talked about Fort Valley only having 12 yards rushing last week. That's going to be a bit of a hill for Morehouse to climb because they're at -6 here at halftime, knowing they're going to have to throw the ball a bunch to get back in this ball game. And then you got to think about it. They have to be completely shell-shocked. Miles came out with the intention of getting rid of this team early by kicking onside the first 2 times after they scored. And even though they turned one into a touchdown, it has been all Miles here in the first half. They got the goal line stand, 1st and goal from the 1, and Morehouse couldn't score. And then Wade Streeter, 5 carries, 93 yards. He's the 3rd string running back here, folks. Moved up the depth chart. We saw Freeman on crutches. He's not going to be back in. So, we'll see. But right now, it's all Miles, and Morehouse is really going to have to do some work even just to get back in this game.
We get set to start the second half on WOTM Sports. Hamill going to go with another pooch kick, coming up the field, it's sliding to the surface at the 28-yard line on the return there. That's an Reese Knuckles for the Maroon Tigers. So Knuckles on the sliding catch And that's where the Maroon Tigers will start this offense in the second half.
You know, I think about back when Nick Christensen was here, and he could kick the ball out of the back of the end zone, so no one was getting returns. And last year, it took a little while for Miles to kind of get what they wanted to out of their kicking game, so they really weren't able to come up with a strategy. But now, Brady Hamill, who struggled with the field goals and extra points, you know, he's able to kick that knuckleball, and there's still no return game, and that's what Miles wants.
And the Golden Bears are now on the run. This is Brown with the football. He's a better runner than Sims, and he got it past the 30 up to the 31-yard line. But you were talking about that first half and the -3 yards on the ground for the Maroon Tigers and that Golden Bear defense. They were concentrating on Dunn not to let him beat them in this football game. And Dunn with -15 yards on the ground.
He couldn't get around the corner. He couldn't go up the middle. He had one run that was worth something, but for the most part, Dunn was not going to beat this team. It seemed like that was the game plan coming in. They're going to make them throw, make Morehouse throw to try to beat them, and thus far, none of it has worked.
And correction on that, it's Jalen Brown that had the -15. It's Dunn that was just 3 yards on the ground for the Maroon Tigers in that first half. They go on the ground here and get it up near the 35-yard line. So that's going to bring up a quick third down here for Morehouse.
If you're Morehouse, you can't get them all back. You know that, all on one play. So you want to kind of chip away and be able to score when you have the ball, and then try to get Miles off the field as quick as possible. That hasn't been the case, as Miles has dominated the time of possession. A lot of that thanks to getting those onside kicks. But if Miles is on the field and burning clock, Morehouse has no chance.
No chance. Just don't have an opportunity with the football. Third down play coming here for Morehouse. 13:42 left in the third. Jalen Brown with the snap. In the pocket, he'll raise, fire across the middle, and an excellent defensive play coming across the middle. He was trying to get it into the hands of Gachaba, but a good defensive play there by the secondary of the Golden Bears.
That's Maxell Wells, the safety, and Maxell, again, he's a converted cornerback, now playing safety, so he's got cover skills, and that time he was able to get that arm in and knock it away, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Maroon Tigers.
Probably not exactly what Coach Freeman for Morehouse wanted coming out of the intermission. So Delamora now on the punt of the way. Good kick by Delamora. But Anthony Robinson feels it at the 29 and squeezed right there. Knocked down in his tracks. Good open field tackle there by Frederick Thompson for the Maroon Tigers on special teams.
And again, 3 and out for Morehouse. That does not bode well for a team that has to have possession of the ball to get back in the ball game. So now it'll be interesting to see what Miles does. It's Wade Streeter who's going to start in the backfield here for the Golden Bears. And actually, he was number 2 on the depth chart coming into the season. Dante Edwards got that chance in the first game, and he really took advantage of it. But Wade Streeter has shown that he can carry the rock. 5 carries, 93 yards, and a touchdown.
The only question looming at this point is what's the condition of Darrell Freeman? There's Streeter again banging ahead past the 30 up to the 32-yard line.
And we talk about the running backs and being able to get plus yards every play. Give it up to that offensive line that's kind of clearing the way. Theodore Victoria, Nathaniel Williams, Aaron Scroggins, and Roger Womack. They are really doing a lot of good work. Issa Washington as well, and opening the holes for these running backs to run through.
2nd and 7 for the Golden Bears. Smith in the pocket, looks right, fires right. Catch made there once again. One of his favorite targets of this ball game. Antonio Lee with the grab.
Now there's somebody down for the Maroon Tigers. Looks like number 44 maybe.
Lee with his 5th catch of the ball game, AA. As the Maroon Tigers tended to near the 23.
It is number 44 for Morehouse. That's Julian Turner, the senior linebacker from Pickerington, Ohio.
And Julian Turner, a big part of that Morehouse defensive effort. All-conference second team voted in the preseason.
And it's good to see, not belittling the injury there for Turner, but on the Miles side, it's good to see that Antonio Lee is back into the flow here on offense. Again, coming into last season, he was the number 1 guy returning, and the guy that Miles was looking for to be the big play guy. And again, he got hurt early, and Leonard Tyree took over from there. But, you know, if you're able to get him back in the mix, and now, you know, we already saw the touchdown catch earlier by Anthony Robinson. You've got big play guys. We haven't seen Mikhail Jacobs all season long. And this guy was an integral part in Miles winning the conference title last year with a couple big plays. We even saw Cohen Hudson make a couple of catches, and he's down on the depth chart. Miles has a plethora of receivers that Smith can go to, and as long as he's upright and the way the running backs are running the ball, the receiver's time is going to come as long as Smith is able to deliver the football.
So 3rd down and 2 after the catch by Antonio Lee. We're at 12:30 left, 3rd quarter. Robinson slots motion left side. They're going to go right side, opposite way. On the ground, Streeter slices back to the inside. That's enough for the complete feed. First down for the Golden Bears at Morehouse College.
Yeah, first 100-yard game in the career of Wade Streeter. He has not had many opportunities. In fact, a couple of those 20-yard runs was more than he had rushing in his career at Miles. Right. So this is going to go down as a career game for Wade Streeter.
Under 12 minutes left, 3rd quarter.
I'm sure Dad is proud as can be to see his son in here putting in the work for the Golden Bears.
Racking up some impressive numbers in this Prince Hall Americanism Classic from Sloan Alumni Stadium. Inside, hard-hitting run left side this time. Streeter finding space, got it near the 45. The surge pushes him back to the 44.
Again, 3 yards, 4 yards, and then next thing you know, the big hitter comes, whether it's on a big run up the gut or on a big pass play. And right now, Morehouse has done pretty much nothing to be able to stop Miles on the offensive side.
Movement up front, no whistle. Smith looking to the official for a call there, didn't get it. Now they'll get the play from the sideline. Play clock, not a big factor at this point, it's at 13. Now slot, top of your screen. Smith, snap, looking right, floats it beyond the defense. Antonio Lee downfield, covered there. Good defensive coverage by Van Over on the sideline that trip, but an underthrown ball.
You know, sometimes, though, I wonder if it's kind of like that NBA kind of mentality. When you got a big guy, you let him get banged a little more because Lee is certainly getting bumped on the outside there. And we saw that a little bit last week when Miles was on the other side of that with the big receivers and the smaller cornerbacks. Lee has been able to hold his own here. It's another 3rd down play for the Golden Bears, but Lee has been able to hold his own with the 5 catches.
Slots either side. Smith with the football. Pressure up the middle. Now he'll raise, fire it out in the flats, pass it on high. Streeter with the catch. We'll check the flag here, though. Streeter got enough for the first down, and he fumbled the football after that. But I think this is going to come back. Might have been a hold right around the end of that play.
It may have been even a late hit. We'll see what the hit is on it.
Yeah, they get Timothy Robinson, the freshman from Pensacola, on the hole there.
Robinson's a big kid. Miles, the depth chart for the offensive line is all freshmen, but they are not small at all, and Ruffin has no problem going to them to get some playing time and depending on them. You think about a guy like Scroggins, who started over an all-conference player his freshman year against Alcorn State.
Robinson 6'4", 325. Up the field now with the football. Streaking ahead is Streeter once again. Did he get the first down? And oh, we'll see. Boy, just a quick burst to the left side and close to that first down marker.
They had the big lineman out in front of him. It's hard to see Streeter. He's kind of slight.
Until he breaks out of the pack. Right. And it's 4th down and about a yard. You know Golden Bears will try to go for this here. They're on the Morehouse side of the field as well. Thinking dagger here, Coach Ruffin is, if they can get another score early here in this 3rd period of play.
Even a first down here just keeps that defense out there even longer.
Sure. And a whistle there. A timeout taken by the Maroon Tigers. They didn't have enough players out there. So they burn a timeout there. At 9:45 left in the 3rd. They take it with a 28-0 lead by the Golden Bears.
So Darren, you're with the UPS store?
Yeah, we actually printed these invites.
Wow, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, faxing, binding, taping, laminating, copying, consulting, creating, designing, returning, and of course shipping.
Cool.
Nice costume.
It's my work uniform. Where are you going?
Go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
Back live at Sloan Alumni Stadium, 9:45 left in the third period. 4th and 1 for the Golden Bears, just on the Maroon Tigers side of the football field. Golden Bears trying to keep this football with a fresh possession. Smith in shotgun. 4th down play on the ground. That's enough for the first down. They bang it ahead for the first. And Streeter just a workhorse here in this second half, late in the first half and into the third now.
And I bet he doesn't mind at all. You know, when you've been sitting and watching a lot as he has done over the last couple of years, man, when you get your chance, man, you probably want the ball every time that they run a play.
No, I can find probably the more appropriate term here, as he was a bear in hibernation for quite a while. And now he's come out running well here in this football game. 1st and 10. A complete first down on the run of Wade Streeter.
At some point, Miles is going to take a big shot at it. They don't have to, but if they're really working on some things, they're going to try to see how they can get somebody like Tyree open.
Smith with the football. Here comes pressure. Fires across the middle. Going back for the football is McNeely. He makes the catch near the 40-yard line. Nice route by McNeely. Smith under a little bit of pressure there, but able to unload.
And that was one of the things that Miles was worried about coming into this game, is that Morehouse likes to bring pressure. They can get pressure with 4. They don't have to blitz a lot. They just get their guys up the field, and they do a pretty good job. They certainly shut down Edward Waters last week, and they caused some problems for Alabama A&M. But for the most part, Morehouse has not been causing Daniel Smith a lot of problems when he went back to throw.
2nd and 3 now. He'll keep it this time. Smith, left side's got some room there. Runs for the first down. Now he'll look for the sideline. Scoots out of bounds near the 35 for another complete first down for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, this has got to be demoralizing for Morehouse. It doesn't matter the down or distance. Miles is doing what it wants to do, and all night long, all over the field. This time, Daniel Smith just decides, hey, I'm going to keep it for myself. He only picks up 4 or 5, but it keeps those sticks moving, and again, keeps that Morehouse defense out on the field.
And it keeps the clock moving as well with 8 minutes left in the third. 28-0 lead for the Golden Bears. They want more. They go on the ground. Streeter, he may have more here on this carry. 20, 10, to the 5, touchdown, Golden Bears.
Wow, Streeter is making his case for SIAC Player of the Week.
Really? For the year.
35 yards. He's up to about 150 on the ground. Wade Streeter putting in work. And this is Katie Barter door time. Morehouse doesn't have an answer. Watch out, last time we were here, we scored 50.
That's right. That's right. We're getting close right now. Streeter streaks it back to the left, found the end zone with 7:49 left. And the Golden Bears take a 34-0 lead with Spradlin on now to try the point after. He has been perfect all evening, perfect on the season. And he is perfect here. So 7:49 left third. 35-0 lead for the Golden Bears of Morehouse College over the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse. Timeout on the field will step out as well. Morehouse College football continues on WOTM America This Great.
From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Sloan Alumni Stadium, purple marching machine in full throat, and so are the Golden Bears of Morehouse College with a 35-0 lead over the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. SIAC action. It's not a conference ball game, but it is a revenge factor for the Golden Bears. And right now they are piling it on Morehouse.
Yeah, if you're the Maroon Tigers, maybe you're trying to call on Barry right now, because it's only going to be some rain that's going to help them get back into this ball game. You know your team has the game in hand when the other team's band isn't playing anymore. Well, I haven't heard Morehouse band blow a horn or hit a drum since their performance at halftime because it's been all miles.
And have not heard anything from the Morehouse faithfuls who have come from Atlanta to follow and support the team on the road. A good shellacking will do that.
Hopefully they enjoyed the chicken out in the parking lot because inside it has been a chamber of horrors for the Maroon Tigers.
Brady Hamill will kick it. Morehouse trying to get some of their hands people up into that set because they've been on the heels on special teams. Started out with Hamill pushing one and the special teams for Miles recovering it. And then he did an onside kick and the special teams recovered that one.
Yeah, they've got their up man up around the 20. This is the time that you kick it
push
deep.
it, yeah. And he does. Backpedaling, they're going to have to let that one hit the end zone. Boy, you talk about just being on your heels all game long. You're right, just a full adjustment by the Maroon Tigers. Played right into the Golden Bears' hands. They're able to kick it deep now.
And everyone's getting an opportunity here. You know, you've seen the freshman offensive lineman come in. You talk about Wade Streeter, the freshman wide receiver Grant Dubose. He gets on the field. Brady Hamill, we talked about his struggles last year, but he has developed his niche as the kickoff guy, and he's done a great job on the onside kicks, and now he kicks it out of the end zone because Morehouse doesn't know what to do when it's kickoff time.
And let's not forget, although you mentioned the fact that Antonio Lee was a big part of the offense last year, got injured, but he is having this re-breakout party again here tonight.
Right. Daniel Smith is able to find him. He's a big target again, 6'3", and has sure hands. Pretty much everything that's come his way that he's been able to catch, he's been able to haul in.
Jalen Brown going to call the signals now for Morehouse. We're down to 7:49 left in the third. A big mountain for Maroon Tigers, trailing 35-0. Pressure at the corners. Brown feels it, and he collapses on him, and the Golden Bears will sack him near the 20-yard line.
They finally get to him this time. It's big number 53 for the Golden Bears. That's Cameron Snead. Also in there, number 49, Kadarius Roberts. It's been just a matter of time. Last week we saw pressure coming from all parts. This time, straight up the gut, Cameron Snead able to fight his man off and get to the quarterback for the sack.
Golden Bears had 7 sacks in the win against Fort Valley last weekend. Able to collapse there on Brown on that play, pushing them back 5, so it's 2nd and 15 now for Morehouse. Brown in the backfield alone.
Something wrong with the internet. Keep doing it. It doesn't matter.
He will take the snap. Fires it out in the flats. That's a pass they had success with early in the ball game. Gooden with the grab. Runs it up past the 26-yard line. Got a lot of that back on that reception. But that's going to bring up 3rd down now here for Morehouse. 6:50 left in this third quarter of play. As linebacker Antonio Evans comes to the sideline now. 3rd down and 11 here for Morehouse from their own 24-yard line. Frank Bailey in the backfield now with Brown. Bailey with some production for Morehouse in this ball game, but the Maroon Tigers have started shutting him down as well. Low snap, Brown handles. Here comes the pressure now. They get another sack on him near the 10. Golden Bears just came on the open blitz there. Brown just not able to get anything going downfield before the pressure got him near the 10. Snead in on that sack as well. Got some help on that one, so they'll probably split that one. But Cameron Snead, last couple of plays, been very effective for the Golden Bears. So yet another punt here for Morehouse. This will be Delamora punting from the end zone. 5:56 left in the third, and Anthony Robinson will either get a good fair catch here on this side of the football field or see if he can't actually make a run on this return. Delamora with the punt. It's high and short. Robinson near the 39, squeezes it there. Excellent field position for the Golden Bears with a very short field to work with. The defense for Miles sets that up. And with 5:40 left now, here comes the offense. Centered by Wade Streeter. Streeter's just done tremendous performance in this football game. Career high numbers for him. Actually looking at that group getting set to go in. Timeout taken on the field, I believe here. It looks like it is. And with 5:40 left in the third, we'll step out as well. 35-0 lead for the Golden Bears over Morehouse College. More Miles College football on WOTM after the timeout.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
Back live here inside Sloan Alumni Stadium. 1st and 10 for the Golden Bears. 5:40 left in the third. They lead at 35-0. Short field to work with from the 40 of Morehouse, trying to notch another. At this point in the ball game, Golden Bears going to start to get a little bit concerned about some possible injured players. You've got to be careful about that. I know you want to do as much as you can on the scoreboard, but you got to balance that and make sure you protect the players as well. Smith still in at quarterback. He will take the snap. Ball fake by Smith. Out in the flats. Catch made there by Tinch, and Tinch works the sideline from the tight end position. So they finally get Tinch involved, and he gets his first catch of the ball game, and it's good for a Golden Bear first down. Put it down right at the 20-yard line. Tinch being integrated into this offense a lot more in this 2019 season. They started it at the second half of last season. But a weapon that's very effective for Morehouse College. Snap to Smith. Handoff. Sliding back to the inside on the carry. Near the 15-yard line. This time the carry made by Padarius Martin. Martin with his first carry of the ball game, and Martin getting into the mix, picking up 5 there.
Martin was a wide receiver last year that they moved to running back. There was so much uncertainty and so much depth at the wide receiver position that they moved him to running back. He's plenty fast, was on the baseball team for a short time, could play center field, so.
Yeah, got to be fast to play that. 2nd down and 5. Smith feels the pressure, going to go to the corner of the end zone, batted away at the end. Was trying to get it down there. I believe that was McNeely in the corner of the end zone. Got to get that football a little bit deeper toward the corner.
I think that was Dubose on the one-on-one over in the corner. 4-14, we'll get it. Dubose hasn't played a lot, and McNeely has already showed that he can make that catch over in the back end of the corner. Look at there, they're trying to help each other out.
Yeah. So it was Dubose there, the intended receiver. Big catch by him in this ball game to get a first down to keep a drive alive for the Golden Bears.
That's probably, to me, the play of the game, because once that drive was kept going, then that's when the Wade Schroeder show started.
So Smith now facing a 3rd and 5 with 4:30 remaining. He'll take the snap. Looking, going to that same play in the end zone. This one batted and out of bounds. They were trying to get that one into the hands of Cohen Hudson. And the defensive work down in the corner of the end zone by Michael, or by, I think that was been over in that corner down there.
We're looking at number 15.
That's Daniel Norman.
Who was back there and able just to get enough of a fingertip on the ball to keep Cohen Hudson from catching a touchdown.
So now Spradlin will come on. He will try a field goal here. They're going to put it down at the 22-yard line. It's going to be a 32-yard effort for Jackson Spradlin. And the wind kicking into it here, AA. So could be a challenge for him here.
Well, it's kicking the air for us, but down on the field it looks like it's it's no wind at all. So
well, it doesn't matter because he knocks it through.
That's right.
Punches it in from 32 yards away, and Morehouse punches his ticket even, or the Maroon Tigers getting their ticket punched here by the Golden Bears. 38-0 lead, Miles, after the field goal by Spradlin.
That's not the only thing they're getting punched. They're getting punched in the mouth. And a lot of that has been happening all night on the ground. Daniel Smith not having the best of games throwing the football. But when you're talking about running, Miles has been able to execute for the 2nd straight week and put the opposition, this time it being Morehouse, putting them in a tough spot. And I don't think at this point that there's anything that Morehouse is going to be able to do to win the game. Now maybe you start working on stuff, maybe trying to see what you can fix so they can, get ready for their next ball game. They're off next week.
Indeed, they're open,
They haven't played at home yet, so they've got a couple weeks to work on whatever is ailing them at this point.
And they will meet the Tigers of Savannah State 2 weeks from now there at B.T. Harvey Stadium. Golden Bears, 38-0 lead. Going to be a lot of confidence for the Golden Bears going on the road next weekend to Rolla, Missouri, to meet the Miners of Missouri S&T.
That's going to be a tough game for the Golden Bears on the road against a good team, but if you can somehow get a W out of that, Boy, it will set up a lot of things as far as confidence is concerned for Miles.
Short side of the field on the return for the Maroon Tigers is Reese Knuckles, and Knuckles is knocked down near the 23-yard line.
The freshman James Sawyer Jr. who's able to get the tackle for the Golden Bears. And I have not seen Miles make a mistake on special teams yet either here this season. All facets of the game clicking on all cylinders for the Golden Bears here through a game in nearly 3 quarters.
Indeed. Save the interception thrown by Smith early on, and then the one fumble, a couple of fumbles, but everything has been clicking well for the Golden Bears.
And quickly, that Maxwell Tillman trial attorney's drive, 5 plays, 25 yards, took 1:20 for the 31-yard field goal by Jackson Spradlin.
Pass toward the sideline, thrown high and incomplete. Thanks Maxwell Tillman for their support of Miles College football. Maxwell Tillman, trial lawyers for the people.
That's right. 57, Jalen Thomas on that quarterback pressure for the Golden Bears.
Also a chance to thank Complete Feet for their support as well. They are our first down supporters, sponsors. Complete Feet first down.
The sponsors have come out for Miles this year. You've got the UPS store in Hueytown, TNT Fireworks. I've got a ton of them, and I'm going to get to all of them. Alabama Power, ATI Physical Therapy. We'll get to them all.
Well, I think we're going to have time in this one, that's for sure. Brown, here comes pressure at the corner, unloads it underneath. That's done in space. Eludes one would-be tackler, but the rest of the gang from Miles catches up with him near the 25-yard line.
Miles going deep into the reserves now. That was Ozzie Williams on the tackle. Or check that. That'll be number 20. And that's Jarius Grayson, junior college transfer out of Eastern Mississippi Community College, but from Huntsville, Alabama. He makes the tackle. It's going to set up a 3rd down.
3rd and looks to be about 7 or 8 here for Morehouse. Certainly anticipate hearing a lot of different names called in this football game for the Golden Bears with a 38-0 lead. Thought that this was going to be a really hard-fought ball game with Morehouse, but just so many different answers. Now they're going to go on a screen underneath, Dunn, but he's wrapped up immediately there. Flag coming in at the back of that play. We'll check that flag out.
Good tackle there by Nictavious Floyd, but hey, that might extend the drive. They might get a late hit there on Jalen Thomas.
Sure will. Thomas there in the backfield. Play well upfield. Now this is exactly what you don't want at this stage of the ball game, giving them any kind of favor. Things that you could avoid. You can just play clean football from this point on and just suck this one away.
Well, Jalen Thomas is headed to the sideline to have a small conversation with his coaches because they didn't like that at all, especially when it wasn't necessary.
No. Thomas, the senior.
Preseason all-conference selection. He was very big on the defense for the Golden Bears last year.
So a fresh set of downs for Morehouse now. Dunn, bang, peppered at the line of scrimmage and fights his way past the 45 up near the 47-yard line.
Gregory Matthews just gets into the ball game. He replaces Jalen Thomas, and he makes the tackle on the first play that he's in.
And interesting, we talked about the depth of this team. Gregory Thomas, a name that we talked about pretty often last year, and just really kind of getting his spot of duty here in this ball game, and 2nd of the season.
Jalen Thomas back in now.
Pump once by Brown. Here comes pressure now. Has to ground that football with the pressure right on top of him.
That's grounding. That's got to be grounding. He didn't throw it towards Santo Dunn. He threw it towards the lineman. That should be a loss of downs.
You're talking to me?
I mean, now, I saw what the officials did. They pointed over to Dunn, but Dunn was running completely away from where they threw that football.
2:24 left in the 3rd. Couldn't agree with you more, by the way, but I have not been surprised by some of the calls and non-calls so far in this ball game. Prince Hall American Classic.
At this point, it's not costing Miles, but one of these times it might, and you don't want that from your officials.
Yeah, you don't want to be given anything, but you don't want anything taken away from you either. Up top, he's got a man. That's Gooden behind the defense. Gooden down near the 20-yard line, and he works his way still on his feet. Now they gang tackle him near the 15. Now, when they look at the film on this, they're going to go right back to Jalen and say, Jalen, this is your responsibility if Morehouse is able to get in the scoring column.
Right, and that's the part about these games and having to complete them. Sure, you're up 38-0, and the chances are slim to none that Morehouse is coming back in this one. But it's those kind of plays, those kind of teaching moments, if you will, that'll make the film session on Sunday and on Monday a lot more attentive. The players be a lot more attentive during those sessions.
Brown surveys, looks now, fires toward the end zone. Catch going to be made there, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Maroon Tigers. Catch made by, trying to make that number out for them. 87, we got him. As Albert Connell. So Connell with the touchdown grab for Morehouse. It comes with 1:39 left in the football game. Oh, how beautiful it would have been to have them scoreless coming out of this.
Right, and the funny part is that normally when your team scores, your band plays, and the Purple Marching Machine is not letting the Maroon Tigers band play at all.
Well, you're going to have a lot of fun with this on social media, I know.
Maroon Tigers looking for their chance, their band looking for an opportunity to play, but right now the PMM is saying not a chance.
Delamora is good on the point after, so it's a 38-7 lead now for the Golden Bears over Morehouse College. They get their first score of the ball game. 1:39 remains. Timeout on the field. Well, we're going to stay here on this break. And the Golden Bear offense coming back out. Not necessarily looking to get revenge for that score from Morehouse, but you want to manage the rest of this ball game.
Right, so that means first downs. That means still mixing run pass, but, being maybe a little conservative. You'll take a shot here or there, but, at this point, as it looks like Miles is its hands team out there, they don't want to take any chances. And actually, that's not their hands team. That's still their regular kick return team. I saw Antonio Lee go out there, but you still got Nictavius Floyd. He's a linebacker. And then you also have number 48. That's David Etienne. He's a linebacker. They're still out there, so they're just going to try to protect here.
Let's see if he pooches or onside. Yeah, they try the pooch. Gets behind the initial line. Going to be caught there at the 43-yard line. Fair catch made by Tinch.
Yes, Tinch in there, and he calls for the fair catch. See, at this point, once people have learned that, hey, anyone can call a fair catch, everyone can call a fair catch. You just got to be able to catch it. So a lot of times those pooches don't work. You really need to kind of kick it into the ground and then let it bounce and try to be, do what Miles did on the first one and beat the other team to it.
Absolutely right. And in this type situation, if it's not successful, what you've given up is a lot of field position. So the Golden Bears will start from their own 43-yard line with a 38-7 lead. Smith, Cordier replaced him late in that second half. They keep it on the ground this time, right side.
Justin Ruiz, another freshman. Now they're going deep into the depth of this running back position. Miles didn't exactly know who was going to be the person that took over at the running back spot coming into this season. Justin Hardy ran for nearly 2,000 yards over the last two seasons, has gone by the way of graduation, but now you've got some new guys in, and they'll all perform particularly well. Justin Ruiz gets his first carry of his collegiate career.
66 seconds left here in the third. Second down and 11, loss of 1 on the previous play. Smith looks, fires, threw it high, but the catch made there at the 45-yard line. That's Hudson going up for that grab, paid for it with the hit, but held on to it.
Went up the ladder. That was a little bit of a high ball there from Daniel Smith, but Cohen Hudson had the concentration to be able to haul that way in, knowing the hit was coming.
So third down and 8 now with 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Golden Bears will have to run this play before the quarter expires. Play clock down to 15. Need to get it to about the 47 to keep the football. On the other end of the field, Smith, pressure at the corner, threw it out in the flats, and this time the football is going to be intercepted. Behind the defense there was bent over with the pick for the Maroon Tigers.
This is for as dominating as Miles has been in this ball game. Daniel Smith has not looked near as sharp here, throwing the football away a couple of times. That time he was looking to try to get the ball to DeAndre Fagan, and And as Fagan was going across, that ball looked like Fagan wasn't able to get to the spot, and then it was picked off. So, you know, again, even with the big lead, there's going to be something to look at on film because Miles does have some room to get better, especially with the way the passing game has been going the first couple of weeks.
Daniel Smith disappointed about that effort there. Second pick of the ball game. So 1st and 10 now for Morehouse with 9 seconds left in the third. Brown with pressure. Throws it underneath. Catch going to be made sliding down the line and up the field and knocked out of bounds. It's Trevor. Looks like Smith on that catch for the Maroon Tigers.
It's Ozzie Williams on the tackle there, and that's going to end the third quarter.
That's Chaba actually on that grab for the Maroon Tigers to bring us to the end of the third. So at the end of 3, it's a 38-7 lead for the Golden Bears of Morehouse College over Morehouse. Final frame headed your way on WOTM Sports.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right.
We get set to go into fourth quarter action here. Golden Bears with a 38-7 lead over the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. Morehouse, short field to work with after the interception thrown by Daniel Smith for the Golden Bears. So Jalen Brown handles the signals as Chaba goes in motion left side. He'll take the snap, pressure at the corner, but he steps up in the pocket. Backside and pass going to be complete upfield. With the grab for the Maroon Tigers, it's A.J. Smith once again for them. It got it up to the 25.
Well, what you're seeing is that Morehouse is going with protection, and what Miles has been able to do is pretty much take Santo Dunn out of the game because now Santo Dunn has to stay in and pass protect. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Minus 11 yards rushing through 3 quarters for the Maroon Tigers, but now Jalen Brown is able to complete some passes because Miles has not been able to get to him.
1st and 10. Brown slides to his left, fires at the sideline, got a man over there, but the football bobbled on the attempted catch.
And so the other part of it, Miles, Coach Reginald Ruffin, he was hot. Third member of our team, Jalen Snipes, and she's done a great job here in her first game with us. She pointed out right after that interception, even with a 38-7 lead, Ruffin took his headset and slammed it to the ground. He did not like that throw from Daniel Smith. 13 of 28, 162 yards, but he's thrown 2 picks. And that's not what you want. You don't want to turn the ball over.
Indeed, you just want to be smooth, finish this thing out. Morehouse with 14:23 remaining with the football. Brown settles in the pocket, fires upfield, pass going to be incomplete. Wells with great defensive coverage coming across the middle for the Golden Bears.
He's been able to get that a couple of times where he's been able to reach in. On that last play, he may have got away with a little something because it wasn't just getting his arm out there. He almost leaped using the receiver as a kind of a catapult to get to that football. And you got to be careful because if you start doing that now, again, in a tight game, if you start developing that habit, they're going to flag you for it. And you think about it, we're on the road next week to a place we've never been.
Indeed. We're going to be rolling to Rolla next weekend. Third down play here for the Maroon Tigers. Brown, backside pressure, unloads it, threw it down the field. Catch made at the corner by Dunn. And Dunn inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. Maroon Tigers making this look pretty easy here. 14:08 left in the third, inside the red zone now.
Well, this time they released Santo Dunn out instead of having him in on pass protect, and it's about time because they haven't been able to really use him like they want to use him, like he's capable of being used. And that time it nearly turned into a touchdown. Although if you think about it, it was Santo Dunn who had the best opportunity to score in the first half, and he fumbled on the one, and that really started to set Miles on its way.
So 1st and goal to go now for Morehouse at the 3. Dunn joins Brown in the backfield. Ball fake, Brown going to the end zone, got it there, and Gooden with an easy catch for the touchdown.
Terry Beckham on the coverage again, and Coach Ruffin told him that he's going to have to be a little more physical. You can't just let those receivers muscle you like that, and it happened a couple of times against Fort Valley last week, and now it happens again as Morehouse is back on the board.
38-13 after the catch by Gooden in the end zone. We're at 13:29 left in this football game. And take a look at a kind of frustrated Reginald Ruffin after that effort defensively.
When you harp on something again and again, and it's not going to change that Terry Beckham is 5'9", so you've got to find a way to work through that. And a couple of times he's been burned this season, and that's probably the frustration from Coach Ruffin.
Delamora is true on the point after for Morehouse, so with 13:29 left, timeout on the field. It's a 38-14 score now for the Golden Bears over Morehouse College. Take a break here on WOTM Sports.
So Darren, you're with the UPS store?
Yeah, we actually printed these invites.
Wow, I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, faxing, binding, taping, laminating, copying, consulting, grading, designing, returning, and of course shipping.
Cool.
Nice costume.
It's my work uniform. Where are you going?
Go to the UPS store for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
Back live here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. 13:29 remains in this football game. The Golden Bear lead decreased now after the touchdown by the Maroon Tigers to 38-14. And the Golden Bears need to dial up exactly what you've been saying, AA. They've got to get a sustained drive here to kind of let the clock work in their favor. Delamora pushes with the kick to LeAnthony Robinson at the 2. Robinson at the 10, got a hole there. LeAnthony streaks to the 20, up to the 30, and tripped down near the 31-yard line.
Man, we're still,
had some daylight there.
Man, we're still waiting on that kickoff return for a touchdown. Has not been one since here against West Georgia back in 2012. That's a long time for not having a kickoff return. We've had punt returns, although I think they may have to re-kick it again, or they're going to get a penalty because that's in the area of offsides.
Yeah. And it looks like they are going to. No, are they marking it off here?
Yeah, I think you can just take it from where you ended the run.
Mm-hmm. So with 13:22 left in the football game, they push it up 5. And John Cordier back in at quarterback now for the Golden Bears. Previous possession with Smith throwing that interception. His night could very well be done for the Golden Bears. Cordier provided a spark late in the first half. Now on the ground, here's another spark on the ground, spinning up near the 30-yard line, close to midfield on that carry for the Golden Bears. That's Wade Streeter. So Streeter continuing his hot night on that run right side. Runs it to midfield and a first down, a complete feet first down for the Golden Bears. And Streeter back in there, as is Cordier. Seemingly they're trying to kind of restabilize his offense to get that drive in there. Cordier with the handoff to Streeter, and Streeter runs it for the first.
Yeah, I think one more score will put the end to it. And you want that momentum. You don't want to go in with a win and you only win by 17 or something like that when you were blowing them out.
Yeah, it just looks a lot different in the box score the next day. On the ground, this is Streeter again. Meets the pack there, no movement there. Morehouse able to surge inside and stop him, maybe a half yard. That's about it.
But it keeps the clock moving, and that's the important part. You want to protect the ball, and you want to move this ball upfield. And, part of it, too, again, with Cordier in there, he came back, he sacrificed something, and I think Coach Ruffin is rewarding him for his sacrifice. We've seen in the first 2 games, he's got a planned series in each game. And in this case here, Daniel Smith hasn't played well, and now you got a chance on the drive that he was in. He scored a touchdown, he took him down the field. So why not give him a little more here? He's got an opportunity to do so.
2nd and 9 on the ground. Streeter's got some room. Up the gut he goes again. Streeter trying to protect that football now. Falls inside the 25, down near the 23. I'm not sure what they're doing up front, but that offensive line is just creating some massive holes for Streeter to run through.
Well, the difference between having Edwards and Freeman run and Streeter run is that you don't need that big of a hole for this guy. He has been sliding through some tight spaces and going deep on some runs. This is his 4th run of more than 20 yards tonight.
He's coming to that sideline. He's got to be winded. Well, he doesn't play that much, or hasn't over the course of his career here, but being called on so heavily in this football game with Freeman injured early on and the massive runs, it'll take it out of you.
It's amazing. Dante Edwards ran for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns last week, and he's hardly touched the field.
He's touching it now, though. Edwards bounces ahead near the 15 inside the red zone for the Golden Bears.
Well, this is the kind of guy you like as a finisher. You got your thunder and lightning kind of combinations and stuff. I think about back in the day when the Atlanta Falcons used to run that DVD package out there with Vic, but they had Dunn as the head back, and then T.J. Duckett was the guy who came in and would finish it off with the punishing runs.
Cordier joined in the backfield by Dante Edwards. 2nd down and 3. Football at the 16-yard line. We're down to 10:33 left in the ball game. And on the ground, Edwards bangs back toward the inside. Stops short of the 1st down marker. They'll knock him down near the 16, 15 and a half. Not a whole lot gained on that play. Streeter back out onto the football field.
And maybe, in this case, you got different teams that can give you different kind of looks. And so maybe a Fort Valley team is a team that you deploy your running backs who are more the power runners. And then against a Morehouse team, you got a running back who's more of a speed guy and a slasher guy who can really break off those big runs just running by guys.
Good chance here to see if they'll decoy with Streeter and let Cordier maybe keep it on a ball fake. 3rd down and 3. We're at 9:45 left. They go on the ground to Streeter instead. 2nd effort by him puts it inside of the 15. Down near that 1st down marker. Going to be about a yard shy.
I mean, you can go put 3 points on the board. I'm sure he'd make it without a problem. But they haven't had any problems. The Golden Bears haven't had any problems picking up a yard here and there.
I think you're absolutely right on that. You got to almost have to go for it based upon what history suggested in this football game. 4th and a yard.
Here comes 4th down and 1 yard to go for line.
9:09 left in the contest. 38-14 the score now. Golden Bears trying to get another score here just to ensure the quality of this win. On the ground, Streeter bangs ahead, and he's denied that 1st down. Good surge there by the Morehouse defense on the right side, and they knocked Streeter down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I would have thought they would have gone Edwards on that one just because of the kind of running back he is, but they went Streeter, and that time it wasn't successful. But
so Morehouse will have the football. Injured player for the Maroon Tigers down on the field. That's Jonathan Mathis. Mathis, one of the star players of that defense for Morehouse, seems to be okay. With 8:54 left in the ball game, certainly would have liked to seen a touchdown there by the Golden Bears just to solidify things. We'll see what they do defensively now. If they can stop Morehouse. Last couple of drives, Morehouse has been able to take the football into the end zone.
And now you're starting to see some of the guys who were the starters back out on the field. Snead, he's a starter. They've got Jalen Thomas on the other side. You see Austin Stevens in the ball game. Miles is looking to...
Smiley back out there as well.
Right, looking to trying to put the knockout blow here. They want to finish this off and not let Morehouse get another big drive down the field.
Jalen Brown still in at quarterback. Took Michael Sims' place late in that first half, and just stayed there the rest of the ball game. Brown in the pocket, steps up now, fires a bullet. Catch made there. Squaring up for the grab is AP Smith for them at the 27.
And Miles is pretty much going to give them that. You know, they're going to get those short ones, but you can't go exclusive zone because they'll think and dot the balls up and down the field. So you got to do something a little different than just going a pure zone.
It's A.J. Smith on the catch. Brown in the pocket. He's got time. Now fires out in the flats. Catch going to be made by Gooden on a comeback route. And they're going to give him that forward progress up near the 34-yard line. Boy, that ball floated in the air for quite a while near that sideline.
And I think Beckham had thought about, hey, I'm going to go take that from him. But at the last second, he pulled up and decided to try to make the tackle and be a little more sure on the play.
So that'll make it second down and 3 now for Morehouse. At the 33. The clock running at 7:51 left in this contest. Brown's got time, fires, threw it up high, but going up to make the catch near midfield. Grab was made by Connell once again for Morehouse.
They are picking on Terry Beckham. And if there's been a part, and look at Coach Ruffin. He has had enough of that.
He is storming out onto the football field.
Talking to one guy, Terry Beckham. And, you know, you don't want to pick on a guy, especially when your team has done all it can to get up this big. It's basically a 3-touchdown and 3 2-point conversion game with 7.5 minutes to go. But you can't let Morehouse just run the same kind of routes and pick on the same guy over and over again. At some point, as a defensive player, in this case Beckham, you've got to make the adjustment. Whatever they're doing, they are eating you alive with it, and so you've got to make the adjustment.
Heated Reginald Ruffin at the sideline. Let's take a timeout, see if we can cool him down. WOTM Sports, more of Miles football after the break. Yep. Yeah, you can't stay with that. You can't stay with that. People know that that's you can't.
They know it's him.
Yeah, sure.
They aren't even throwing this side.
Right. They saw the film because they saw what Fort Valley was doing. You know?
So if he can't make that adjustment, remember last year, they moved him the same before. Because his cover skills weren't good.
WTPO or WTOM rather replays each live football game Monday nights at 7:30.
Dyslexia got him.
Inside the line of the coach in the huddle with Coach Ruffin beginning Wednesdays at 9:30 and playing several times during the week. All on WOTM TV, Channel 21 on Charter Cable.
I knew I didn't write it wrong.
Heated Coach Reginald Ruffin took a time out there. 7:31 left in the football game. Took it because the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College are at their 49-yard line now. Morehouse with a 38-14 lead, trying to just close this football game out. But Morehouse very stubborn about just going away. Brown fires and threw the pick. Threw it at the sideline, and this was picked off. They're going to the house on this one. Interception there by Floyd. And Floyd, right side, runs the distance of the field and scores for the Golden Bears.
Well, they picked on it one too many times, and Nick Floyd said, I've had enough. Steps in front of it and goes to the house.
So Coach Ruffin asking who's going to step up to make the play, and Floyd does it.
Bails his teammate out, and that's what you want sometimes. Beckham was having a rough series, and Nick Floyd said, I got you, brother.
But here to your point, they were going on that side of the field because they knew that's where they were having their success with Beckham. But Floyd this time anticipated the route, stepped the path, picked it, and runs it to the house for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, those people who were still sticking around trying to see a miracle and stuff. This isn't 34th Street, it's 59th Street, baby.
In Birmingham, in Fairfield, that is. Spradlin knocks down the point after. 45-14 now. Golden Bears get things back on track. We'll step out for a break here. This is Golden Bear football on WOTM Sports.
From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. I rise.
Back live here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. Maroon Tigers forced into a passing game to try to catch up here, AA.
Yeah, buddy.
And that adage plays true.
Right. When you pass the football, 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad. Well, at least for Morehouse, one of those bad things just happened as Nictavius Floyd stepped in front of a Brown pass, 53 yards, return for the pick 6. That scoring summary brought to you by Maxwell Tillman, trial attorneys for the people. You can find out more about Maxwell Tillman by going to www.mxlawfirm.com.
So Floyd comes up big. Golden Bears took a timeout right before that pick by Floyd. Coach Ruffin just upset with the play of the defense, and they answer after the timeout. This time Hamill trying to kick it out of bounds, kicking it into that little pooch pattern, but this time it goes out of bounds near the 20. So as they unfold and get set play here, we talk about next weekend in Torola, Missouri, against the Miners of Missouri S&T. So the question I have for you, is it Missouri or Missouri?
Well, it depends on what side of the state you're from. You know, if you are living in the west side of the state, it's Missouri. You live on the east side of the state, it's Missouri. I completely made all of that up. I just figured that would sound logical, so I decided to go ahead with that.
You're not too far off. It's both. So,
or maybe it's north and south. I'm not sure.
At any rate, we know we will be in Rolla next Saturday against the Miners. I have the coverage for you right here on WOTM Sport. 7:20 remains in this ball game. Golden Bears on their way to being 2-0 on the season. Brown has to elude right side. Stevens gives chase. Now they push him out of bounds near the 39-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on the scramble by Brown.
So now the rush is on here for Morehouse to see if they can get back to 0 yards rushing. That helps a little bit. It makes it from -11 to about -7. So they've got a little ways to go. But Miles, thus far this season, has not given up 10 yards on the ground.
Boy, I'm going to really see you on social media this week.
You can start tonight. Golden Bears of MC. It's going to be on.
Here comes the pressure, and Brown has to unload it early. Good search by the Golden Bears. Smiley and Shade all into that backfield for the Golden Bears.
Well, I think Coach Watson, the defensive coordinator, and the Miles defensive team, they dialed it down just a bit tonight. You saw against Fort Valley, they were bringing everybody from all different kinds of places on the field, and their quarterback, Slade Jarman, really not near as mobile, and he couldn't get away. They had to be a lot more respectful of the ability to run here for Morehouse, not just from their quarterback, but being able to get the ball out to Santo Dunn. Now they know it's a strict passing situation, and they have just unleashed the hounds. We'll see where the blitzes are coming from now.
3rd and 6 now. Brown, they're coming up the middle at him now. He'll dump it underneath at the sideline. Catch him there. And bouncing off one tackler inside of Golden Bear territory. That's Malik Merchant on the catch there for the Maroon Tigers. So Merchant with his first grab, and he goes off toward the sideline immediately after the hit near the sideline. So this also became a ball game, and then later on it was clear that the Golden Bears were going to win it. How far the difference is between your reserves and the starting lineup for your opponent. And once you start to see that you may not be able to finish with what you had out there, you want to try to protect that margin.
Well, if you're a reserve for the Golden Bears, as the blitz comes and it gets home. I think that's Nick Floyd. No, that was, yeah, I think that's Nick Floyd right there, number 28. Gets an interception, and now that's not going to be a sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but Nick Floyd with the pressure.
So Floyd, after the interception, with a big play there. And this is one of the guys we talked about that last year, Floyd, such an instrumental part of that defense, and now coming in a reserve spot, but just as strong and just as effective as some of the starters for that defense. Brown up the middle, pass batted around and incomplete. Had a man on a crossing route, but threw it behind him. Good pressure up front by the Golden Bear defensive line.
And right now, you know that they're going to try to throw the football. That's pretty much the only option they've got. So you want to have hands up if you're on the defensive line, especially if you don't see yourself getting home. Get that hand up. You never know what could happen. You can get a tip pass. We saw that last week. The pass was deflected a bit, and it turned into an interception for Mitchell Smiley. So getting your hands up at this juncture of the game is something that will probably be a very good idea for the front 5 guys who are rushing the passer for Miles.
3rd and 10 for the Maroon Tigers. They're at the 48 of the Golden Bears. Miles with a 45-14 lead. Brown got a man out of the backfield. That's done, but he stumbles. That was going to go incomplete. Had some space, but he had to reach back for the football, not able to collect it.
It is amazing how Dunn has been nullified by the Miles defense. And initially, he really nullified himself when he fumbled that ball on the 1. And it wasn't necessarily something he did. He kind of tripped and ran to his own guy and let go of the football. But, once Miles was up 3 touchdowns and stuff, the ability to use Dunn like you normally would is taken away. And you want to use him even as a receiver, put him out in space. But Miles was getting to the quarterback, so they had to keep him in on protect.
4th down now here for Morehouse. We're at 5:24 left. 4th and a full 10. No choice for them but to go for it here. And a flag coming in there, going to be to delay a game against Morehouse if they did not get a timeout before.
So, looks like they did take the delay of game, and they're going to go ahead and punt.
So Delamora on to punt it away for the Maroon Tigers. Again, Morehouse open next weekend, because they are, in terms of conference play overall, they lead all the other teams. Most teams started last weekend, but Morehouse started the week prior to that, so they're finishing up their 3rd ball game here tonight against Miles, so they'll have the week off next week. And then we'll see that the numbers in terms of stats for the conference start to really kind of even things out, because Morehouse in the lead in a lot of categories because they played 2 ball games against most everybody else with just 1.
Well, I think there's a bit of surprise here for how Morehouse performed because of the way they played that first game against Alabama A&M. Well, they had that game won until the last 20 seconds, and they could have easily come in here 2-0. They played that well.
Delamora with the kick. He's done a fine job all evening punting for them. So Anthony Robinson squeezes it near the 16-yard line for the Golden Bears.
Let's see who's out at quarterback. Will they give Nakia Davis his first opportunity to play quarterback? Redshirt freshman. No, they're going to go back out there with Lejean Cordier, but Nakia Davis is next up, if you will. Cordier and Smith are both seniors. Davis has been in the program now 2 years. You would imagine, I know we're thinking way ahead, but he would be the next guy up. So at some point, you may see an opportunity for him to get out on the field and get some plays in.
1st and 10 now for the Golden Bears. Lejean Cordier at quarterback. He'll keep it. It may have been a busted play there, but Cordier able to get something positive out of it up to the 20.
I think Edwards was a little ahead of him when he went to go put the ball in the belly, and all of a sudden Cordier is like, oh man, I still got the ball.
That wasn't supposed to
run with it.
So pickup of 2 on that play by Lejean Cordier. 2nd and 8. And when they needed a spark, Lejean Cordier provided it for that Golden Bear offense, or the team in general, in that first half of play.
Between him and Wade Streeter, that really set Miles up to kind of run away with this one.
Likely one of the reasons he's being rewarded with the remaining playing time in this football game. Ball fake by Cordier. Now, right side, he's forced to scramble. Defense catches up with him there, and we're going to sack on him near the 12-yard line.
It's amazing they were still trying to throw here with 4 minutes left. And again, sometimes this is just to work on it. You don't want to send a quarterback out there thinking, hey, the only thing you're going to do is come run the ball and run the clock out and stuff. You want to give him some opportunities.
Yeah, during the flow of the game. And that's the story, because these guys work day in and day out during the course of the week, anticipating getting into the football game and having the full complement of plays that they can take advantage of or utilize.
He has certainly done a good job here today. And he didn't do a bad job when he was the starting quarterback, but I remember in that season, this was back in the 2017 season, we just weren't moving the ball like you wanted to. Teams were not respecting his ability to pass, so they were starting to put 7 and 8 in the box, sometimes 9, and daring him to throw the football. And to that point of the season, Miles was struggling moving the ball, and they needed a spark, so Coach Ruffin made the change. He went to the freshman at the time, Joseph Cambridge, and Cambridge played well until that first pass he threw at Tuskegee, right into the hands of Osman Thompson, and that set off the infamous 50-piece over at Tuskegee as they went on to win the conference title. And Miles, which needed a win, would have gotten them into the Division II playoffs.
Handoff. Edwards fights his way past the 10, up to about the 12.
Well, they can't stop that guy. Even when you got him hemmed up deep in the backfield, he still finds a way to make it at least back to the line of scrimmage, if not even for a bit of a positive gain.
As you look at him coming off the field, it's just stockily built, big arms and big, massive thighs. It's just a load to bring down.
You know, it's almost unfair that he gets to put all those pads on and stuff and get to run over guys, because I'm sure there's some defensive backs and even some of these slightly built linebackers that, you know, don't think it's fair. They've got to be the guys who have to tackle him.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be enthusiastic about that at all.
Yeah, he puts on quite a show in practice. No one wants to tackle him. So
yeah, back in my days, the only choice I had was just try to get down near the ankles. If he jumps over you, so what?
And let me tell you about football and me playing it. It ended after one practice, and it wasn't even the end of practice. Man, somebody hit me when I was 5 years old, and I told myself, start taking that stuff off right then, and sat on the sideline until my mother came and picked me up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Never heard that story.
It ended very quickly for me, and well, that's okay. You know, I get to live my football life through the play of the Golden Bears and get to enjoy it that way. But if you told me how it felt like to get hit, I can only remember back about 40 years or so, and that's about as far as I can tell you.
At the Prince Hall Americanism Classic from Sloan Alumni Stadium, 4:04 remaining in this year's Classic. As now the Golden Bears, for one of the few times in this ball game, going to punt the football away.
Miles is going to have to take a timeout because they were short a player.
Yeah, and it's showing, it looks like it's going to be Jackson Spradlin doing the punting from the end zone. But they burned the timeout with 4:04 left. And getting set to give it away. Good crowd on hand here for this season opener here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. On the road next weekend. And the weekend after that, we're back here.
Right, you got Lane College. It's a college preview day. We'll have visitors on the campus all looking to hopefully make Miles College their choice to continue their education. So we're hoping to put on a good show in that regards. And it's interesting that they've got Spradlin out here. Maybe they're trying to give other teams some looks. I don't know. Jay Fitch is out there, and maybe Jay didn't have a good week at practice. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to talk with Coach Ruffin and see. But maybe it's just a way to give another team a look with him out there to see if they're going to run something else.
Fitch with a solid job of punting last weekend against Fort Valley, but as you indicated, it could have been something during the week. Spradlin angles right side, got off a decent kick there. Over the shoulder catch by Dunn at the 46. He called for the fair catch there.
33 yards on that punt, not bad. And Spradlin's got he's got a leg. There's no question about that. He can really boot the football, but he's made his bones here thus far, at least as the place kicker. And it'll remain to be seen what's going to happen with the punting duties. But we haven't really seen Jay Fitch out there. They've been running Spradlin out there even when they weren't necessarily going to punt the football.
And you really got to admire what he's done from the time that he started at the beginning of last year. We were just so questioning about what we have as it relates to just special teams kicking overall. And Jackson just really settled into himself during the course of the year.
And you have to remember, it was his missed field goal that set off all the events that turned into the Hail Mary at the end of the ball game for Morehouse.
Indeed. I remember that well. I think it was like a 23-yard effort or something well within his range. But just not able to connect on that one. So to go downfield, the Maroon Tigers do with a reception down inside the red zone. I think that's Knuckles with the catch. 3:36 remaining in this football game.
That was a pretty good catch right there because the defensive back over there on the far side, Terry Beckham, was all over him that time. It was just he was able to haul in the pass and get downfield for the Maroon Tigers.
Coming into this ball game, there was always a question about who was actually settling into the starting role for the Maroon Tigers at quarterback. Michael Sims on that Black College Football watch list for Player of the Year started this ball game. But up the field now, Gooden again with a one-handed grab for a touchdown.
That was an excellent grab.
Yeah.
You give credit where credit is due. He was able to concentrate. He got the arm out there, tipped it up to himself, and he was able to haul it in for 6.
This guy is absolutely incredible for Morehouse. An outstanding basketball player as well, but showed some skills there on that one with the one-handed grab. He has been a spotlight for them.
We're glad that none of those touchdowns mean a whole lot here tonight. Yeah, I'm sure the Maroon Tigers would have liked to see some of those in the second quarter as opposed in the fourth.
They get that one with 3:05 remaining. And Delamora now on to try the point after. Knuckles holds. Delamora with the kick. And he bangs it through for the Maroon Tigers. They cut the deficit. 3:05 left. Golden Bear lead 45-21 now after the touchdown pass and catch by Tramel Gooden.
Again, you don't like to see this. Miles is probably going to run it a couple of times, try to get a couple first downs and get out of here at 45-21. But you kind of feel like something was left wanting out here. It was so dominant early, and then you kind of coasted through, and sometimes you don't want to coast through. And maybe it's by design. Maybe Coach decided, hey, we're going to take our foot off the accelerator here, work a couple things, see what we can do, and get some other guys in here. And there's nothing wrong with that. You earn that right when you're up 38-0.
Yep. Can't dispute that. By Anthony Robinson, back pedals. He'll be back to receive the kick. Joined by Michael Simpson, a redshirt sophomore. A calmer Reginald Ruffin at the sideline now. Anticipating that Morehouse is going to try an onside or a pooch kick here to get that football.
It looks like it. They're finally going to give it a shot.
It looks like it's going to be coming at the bottom of the screen this way by the players that got lined up that way. They do it. Line drive kick, and Antonio Lee with those sure hands near the 49-yard line, able to fall on it for the Golden Bears.
And that's why you put the sure hands right at that spot, because that's the natural kicking motion. Generally, if it's going to bounce that way, and you want to make sure you have your best hands on the team. And we've seen Anthony Lee make some big grabs here over the first 2 weeks. That one just as big as any reception that he's gotten this far.
They gobble that up like a Chicago Cubs shortstop.
I'll take that. And we're on shortstop like 28 right now, trying to get to the playoffs. Yes, I said we. I'm one of those kind of guys.
That's okay. You gotta stay with your guys, man. First and 10. Cordier whistles at the line of scrimmage. Got some movement up front by the Golden Bears.
And we've seen that. We almost saw it on the last series where Edwards jumped a little bit. It wasn't quite in sync like it should be.
45-21 Golden Bears with the lead. That'll push them back 5.
See if we can get something positive here out of this last series, even if it just means you're going to get a chance to run out the clock. Don't let the Morehouse offense back on the field.
Cordier leaves it in the belly. It goes straight ahead past the 45 up near the 46-yard line. They unpile it there. And Streeter on the carry for the Golden Bears. So Wade Streeter with that carry. Got 3 of the 5 that was assessed on the initial penalty just prior to that back. It'll make it 2nd and 12. Cordier now looking, fires at the sideline. Catch made by Lee, but a flag thrown at the line of scrimmage. Line judge making that call. And they'll confer behind that Golden Bear offense. We're down to 2:30 remaining. And it was offsides against the Maroon Tigers. So Golden Bears likely going to take that reception by Lee. And as they move it up, now they're going to actually take the penalty there. They'll save that down and take the 5 on the assessment against the Maroon Tigers. So that'll push it to the 48. Just inside Maroon Tiger territory with 2:30 left. Cordier with the snap. Handoff, that's Streeter. Streeter right side, second wave of the defense. Got it past the 40 down to the 39, and that's enough for the complete feet first down for the Golden Bears. So Streeter has been called on all game long, and when they have needed him, he has answered. And he answers again there. 2:10 left, clock running here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. Morehouse College getting set to go to 2-0 on the season. And the Maroon Tigers going to drop to 1-2. Lost their season opener against Alabama A&M, defeated Edward Waters last weekend. And now falling in defeat to the Golden Bears. Miles, winners against Fort Valley. 2 in a row now as they defeat the Maroon Tigers here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. We go to 1:40 left. So clock running. Chance for us to thank all of our sponsors for their support of Morehouse College football on WOTM Sports. And again, a chance to thank our newest member of the broadcast team, Jalen Snipes, handling work for us here at Sloan Alumni. We'll be hearing from her throughout the course of the season. 1:10 left. Cordier in shotgun with the snap. He'll keep it right side, stumbles at the line of scrimmage, but able to regain. Second effort got him to the 35. Under a minute left here. And again, we're on the road next weekend from Rolla, Missouri, against the Miners of Missouri S&T. Morehouse idle next weekend. A lot of SIC play around the league this afternoon. All teams in playing mode now. Handoff left side. Streeter looks for room. Tripped up after getting past the initial line of scrimmage. So Wade Streeter with some career numbers for the Golden Bears in this win over the Maroon Tigers. He was really one of the big differences in the Golden Bears really taking command of this football game. And it'll end in a shocking way for the Maroon Tigers. They thought that they would have a better performance here at Sloan Alumni Stadium, but it was all Golden Bears with the win this evening, 45-21. And that score could have probably been a lot more lopsided than what it turned out to be, with Coach Ruffin and the coaching staff kind of going to some of the reserves later on in this ball game that allowed the Maroon Tigers to get a couple scores. But it stands as a win for the Golden Bears. They win at 45-21 over the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. We'll come back for a quick wrap-up here at Sloan Alumni Stadium after our final timeout here on WOTM Sports.
Don't you just love rain? It's nature's way of watering the earth. Thunderstorms are a different story. Poppy really freaks out if the lights go off. That's why we love Alabama Power. As soon as it's safe, they work day and night to get the lights back on. Fast. Kind of like real-life superheroes. I know they do it for everybody, but sometimes I think they do it just for Poppy. Say thanks, Poppy.
You heard that right.
We're back live here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. Final score, Golden Bears win it 45-21 over the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. Golden Bears going to 2-0 on the campaign in the Prince Hall Americanism Classic here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. With the Classic, they name a player of the game, and rightfully so. That player of the game is Wade Streeter for the Golden Bears of Morehouse College. Streeter with an incredible performance here tonight. 17 carries, 192 yards on 2 touchdowns for Morehouse College. So Streeter sitting out, waiting his time, and answers big here for the Golden Bears with the injury to Darrell Freeman early in this ball game. Streeter called upon, and he answers in a big way. So the Golden Bears win it 45-21 against the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. That'll do it for our coverage here at Sloan Alumni Stadium. With special thanks to Miles College Interim President Bobby Knight, Athletics Director and Head Coach Reginald Ruffin, Assistant AD for Facilities and Operations, Patrick Pison, and certainly Ms. Barbara Palmer, the Assistant AD for Fiscal Affairs. Also to A.A. Moore, the Assistant AD for External Affairs, and a special thanks to Ruben Perez, the Associate AD for External Affairs from Morehouse College. And to our partners at WOTM, be with us all season long for Miles College football, and certainly to our outstanding producer who will not be with us in Missouri this weekend, Randy Higgins. Special thanks to him and to Steve Rocco for his coverage of the cameras here tonight. Also, again, welcoming our newest member to the broadcast team, Jalen Snipes. And on behalf of my broadcast partner, A.A. Moore, this is Charles Ward. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next weekend from Rolla, Missouri.